Hello, everyone. Welcome to On a Mission. Happy Tuesday. I am very happy to be here. Welcome to everyone in the chat and welcome, I guess, Boss Baines has joined us this evening. He wanted to be a part of this podcast tonight. So welcome, Boss Baines. Try to not get into any trouble.
Oh, that would be impossible. Trouble is what I do best. And as February's main event attraction, or part of it, I decided to be a guest host on tonight's On a Mission, and you all are very welcome for that.
I do have to say, we do have a very special guest, so Boss Baines, you have to be on your best behavior.
Best behavior.
But just to let you know, Boss Baines, you have a new name, Boss Lames. Thank you, Tony Justice, in the chat. That's a good one.
Tony Justice is not funny. I am very cool. I am the coolest. I have cool artwork behind me. Look at this. The coolest artwork.
All right. Well, what's cooler than you and cooler than the artwork behind you is being a sponsor of Mission Pro Wrestling. And we do have sponsorships that are open still for February 11th for Kickstart My Heart. I got to go like that so you can see it. There you go. We have full show. You could be a full show sponsor, wrestlers and referees, the broadcast team, individual matches, and also one of the most fun parts about being about Mission Pro is you can sponsor a wrestler. So this is an outdated graphic. This is getting updated.
What the heck?
We've had,
what the heck?
You can sponsor Boss Baines. You can
Who made
sponsor
this?
JP
Why am I not on it?
Joey Hyder.
Oh my.
Maddie is already sponsored. Jasmine is sponsored. Lady Bird has been sponsored. Gigi Ray has not been sponsored yet, but you can. And then we also have some matches that have been sponsored already. All of that is going to get announced soon. Our team is working frantically trying to get those amazing graphics and content
not hard
made
enough
for you guys.
Not hard enough.
So,
I mean, the graphics are out of date already. Not hard enough.
We're so thankful for all the sponsors. And Front Row says sponsors are cool. So yeah,
sponsors are cool. And I wonder who is cool enough to sponsor Boss Baines. Who out there is cool enough to sponsor me? I don't know. I don't know if anybody exists who's cool enough. We just have to wait and see, right?
Yeah, we have to wait and see. I don't know if anyone is going to. They're so mad at you.
I'm Mission Pro's most wanted man. What can I say? Controversy makes money, right? So let's make a little money. Sponsor the boss.
All right. Well, speaking of sponsors and money and Kickstart My Heart, we also have tickets on sale. And you can go to missionprowrestling.com or Eventbrite. We have our event up there and you can get those tickets. And you can sign up for Title Match Network if you're unable to see it live in San Antonio at the Salvation Army Mission Corps. We're going to have more matches being announced, by the way. If you have not seen our match breakdown, we did a show last week with Lady Bird, and we broke down all the matches so far for Kickstart My Heart, and it looks like a banger of a show, and I'm excited, and there's going to be more announced, so stay tuned.
You know, I just had a thought. I'm very tempted to buy all of the tickets to Kickstart My Heart before the public can get them to keep them from booing me. Because I don't want to hear any boos when I come out there.
No, we need.
So I might buy all the tickets unless some people can snake them away from me at the last minute. I might buy them all. If people really hate me, they would buy these tickets.
We need people in the seats. So
no, I would rather wrestle in complete silence. I would rather wrestle to the sweet sound of crickets than to listen to a room full of people try and break my heart. Kickstart My Heart, they're trying to break mine. I don't want that. I might buy all the tickets. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, good luck with that, Boss Baines. Good luck. You got to save it for the patrons of Mission Pro. You got to be nice, so don't.
I'm nice. I'm a nice person.
All right. Well, someone that is very nice that I'm excited to talk about is someone that is making her debut at Kickstart My Heart on February 11th, and I'm excited to invite her on On a Mission, because we gotta talk. We gotta talk to her. And everyone in the chat, please send in your questions. Get to know her, because I know she's excited to come to Texas. And so I'm so excited to introduce Sio Nieves on a Mission. So welcome, Sio.
Hello.
Hi. Sorry for all that. Boss Baines is just talking. We won't let him take all the tickets. Don't worry.
Okay. It's okay. We'll figure something out.
So welcome to On a Mission. I'm so excited to have you on here. And I know the fans of Mission Pro are excited to learn all about you.
I hope so.
So let us know kind of how you started in wrestling, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I've seen wrestling my entire life. Originally I was born and raised in Mexico, in Tijuana, same place as Thunder Rosa. So I was born and raised there, and my grandpa, he used to work the arenas where the wrestling will happen. All the luchadors were there. So he will take me backstage when I was like 3 years old. So wrestling has been around me my entire life. I have an uncle. Sorry, the accent comes out. I have an uncle, and he tried to be a pro wrestler back in his day, but he never did anything about it. And then I got to move to Florida in 2014 for college, and I told myself, like, let me finish college, let me get a degree, let me do my thing, let me make my parents proud, I guess, in a sense. And then I'll start like pursuing wrestling, I guess. Like, it was always in the back of my head. Like, I stopped watching wrestling, I stopped following for a couple of years, but there was something always in the back of my mind, like, I need to get back to it. And yeah, I finished college in 2018, and then by 2019, I was like, screw it, let me try this out. Maybe we'll see what happens. And now a couple of years later, here I am.
That's amazing. I mean, you have such an interesting story. Can you talk a little bit about what you studied in school and kind of what you do now?
Yes.
Kind of outside of wrestling, you have and we talked about this. We have someone that does that's into science, and like, we have so many amazingly smart women on this roster that does things outside of wrestling. So that's why I'm so excited for you to share that.
Yeah. So for school, I graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science. And then right now my focus is on software engineering / cybersecurity. So I can talk a little bit about the boring stuff of what I do on my daily basis. Currently I am on a project for the Air Force. I forgot what it was. Sorry.
Oh,
no big deal.
No big deal.
But yeah, my project is right now with the Air Force. It's been approved. It's there. It's secret. They have to.
Okay, you don't have to share details.
But that's what it is. I code for national security now.
Wow,
that's big. Are we even allowed to know this?
I don't think I think we're in trouble now.
To our house and
I think you're allowed to know. I'm just not allowed to say anything more than that.
All right.
Yeah, but right. I can see a lot of people's stuff. Now.
Oh goodness. Okay, that's a little nerve-wracking. So are you hacking into your opponent's like research? So you're facing Emmy Camacho on February 11th. So are you kind of sneaking in there trying to figure out what she's thinking?
Oh, I already know where she lives and her phone number and everything, so it's not a worry. I already know
I like her.
I feel like this is Boss Baines and Sio. I feel like this is a bad matchup for you two. I feel like there's some devious plans that might happen. Yes, everyone in the chat, Davina, Happy New Year. Yeah, this is like our first few episodes of On a Mission in the new year, and I'm excited to have all of these special guests. So as Sio is running the world, you're not only running the world behind the scenes, but also in the ring. And you started your journey, you said, like in 2018, 2019. And obviously the pandemic threw a wrench in a lot of people's plans. So how did you kind of overcome that, and how did you kind of focus your training?
Well, now that you speak about the pandemic, for 2020, my school, I trained with Diva and Dudley in Orlando. It closed down, like just how the world did.
Yeah.
So I didn't have anything. The gyms were closed. Everything was closed. I mean, there was nothing really. And I have my own little gym in the garage now. So I have a bunch of barbells, and I do CrossFit. And I hate when I say it because it sounds like I'm trying to say that I'm vegan. You know that running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta say you're vegan. You gotta say that you do CrossFit. So I do CrossFit, and yeah, I just got my own little workouts, and I started learning more about the sport. And I just kept myself running and weightlifting. I used to run a lot, not anymore, not so much anymore.
Yeah. So you're doing CrossFit, you're doing, yeah. I mean, a lot of people had to like adapt and kind of do workouts at home. And yeah, Bothbanks, did you have a question?
I'm curious, what is the biggest in-ring benefit for doing CrossFit? What do you think is the best benefit?
The cardio and the strength for
Cardio.
sure. Because I've lifted people that are 300 pounds, so it helps a lot. Because I'm only 120. I'm proud of my weight, but I'm only 120 pounds, and like for me to lift somebody like it's almost 3 times my size, it says a lot. That doesn't mean I can squat them, though. Doesn't mean I can squat them. I can just lift them, but that's it.
That's fine. That's all you need. You pick them up and you can put them down.
Exactly, I can do it.
Yeah, if anyone in the chat has questions for Sio, let me know, and we can ask her some things. So I loved how you shared your journey about you grew up in Mexico and then you moved to Florida, and you had what was that journey like, and that transition for your family, and then just trying to find your way in the wrestling world when you like made that. Because I feel like there's two different like styles of wrestling that you kind of had to study and learn about.
Yeah, so I guess I'm gonna call it the Mexican version. Everything is on the opposite side, so you gotta learn to wrestle on both sides in this case.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it was a little bit of a shock when like you go, because my first school was always in Florida, so I learned the American way, I guess. And then when I went back home and I trained with some friends, it's like, why is everything so backwards? Like, I don't like this. I have to adapt to it.
Yeah, yeah. It's literally backwards.
It is backwards.
I'm very familiar.
Yeah, so you have to like change your mindset and then also like get it kind of in your body to kind of move in that way differently.
Yeah, like everything has to connect the other way. It's so weird.
Front row, I'm gonna throw these questions at you. Front row is asking, who are some of your influences? And I know you mentioned you were a wrestling fan growing up, but maybe speak to that a little bit. If you watched anyone on TV or in person.
As of girls, my number one has always been Lita. Like forever, my number one. There's nobody else that I look up the way I look up to her. I am a huge fan of Stone Cold Steve Austin. And that's just for my American crew, I guess. But for my Mexican one, I am a really big fan of La Parca, the original one.
Oh yeah,
I love him. I've gotten the chance of seeing him live a couple of times. I met him when I was really young, but he honestly does not remember me. Yeah, him, El Santo, obviously going back to the OGs. One of the late Perro Aguayo. I don't know if you guys know him, but
I know her well.
Very big influence on me, and I just like he didn't care, and I don't know. I guess those are the ones that are on top of my head right now.
Another question in the chat: what's your favorite style of wrestling? Is there something you prefer?
Lucha, obviously. I don't do lucha because I am terrible, and I don't have the athleticism for it. But lucha style has always been my favorite. It's just there's something so beautiful about the athleticism in those guys.
I know, it always blows me away when I watch them. I'm like, I don't know how they do it.
Physics don't exist there. It's just like I can't like
gravity. There's no gravity,
right?
Gravity.
So I know the answer to this because I watched your match against Tiffany, but I'm going to throw it out here. Are you related to Tiffany Nieves, who's also on our show on February 11th?
Yeah, no, we've been to shows together in Florida area as well. No, we're not related at all. She's from Puerto Rico, I believe, and I am from Mexico.
I know. I had to ask, but I've heard like a lot of commentary, like on shows, commentary teams talk about like you're not related, but yeah.
But I have to ask the obvious question: would you start a tag team with her?
I don't know. I gotta ask her first, and we'll see.
Now, who would you prefer to start a tag team with? Do you have a person in mind that you would like to tag with if you had the opportunity?
Like from the roster right now, or from just
From anybody. I'm talking open door.
I kind of want to know both too. I want to know like anyone you have your eye on at Mission, because it gives us some ideas, and then also.
Well, from Mission, I love the Kai's style. He was one of the very first people, if not the first person I talked to when I first started my journey into wrestling. Like, she was the very first person that taught me how to lock up and everything. Like, she was the only girl there, and like, I would love to tag team with her. If not, I would like her to kick my ass. And from any other roster, I guess, again, if he ever comes back, Stone Cold Steve Austin, if we can have an intergender match, that would be.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, well, he's in Texas, right? So
there you go.
No, he's not.
Is he not in Texas?
No, he lives in LA.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
He lives in
I
LA.
thought he was in Texas. I imagined that in my brain. I just want to hang out with him. I think that's
me too. I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah. I see it. We're manifesting it, Boss Baines. We're manifesting it.
Oh, manifesting.
So Davina, so I know we mentioned AEW, that you've had 2 incredible matches last year on AEW Dark. And so the question that Davina is bringing up, what did you take from the matches you had in AEW that you can bring to your game at MPW? And just, I would love to know like your experience there and how that all came about.
First of all, to not underestimate anybody. Everyone is rough there. But I had a really good time, like backstage, like when you're talking about backstage, everyone was just super nice. Everyone was, you can ask pretty much anybody like for advice or anything, and everyone will answer you. So, but yeah, do not underestimate anybody, because they will kick your ass. And if you saw those matches, I got my ass beat.
I mean, you did. It was tough for you, but you had some really tough opponents too. I mean, did anyone give you advice? Because I know there's a lot of Florida ladies that have done Dark there. Did you talk to anyone before you went in there to like get in the right headspace?
I did. I talked to a friend. His wrestling name. His name is Jaden Jet. He was the first person I told, like, hey, I got invited to this. What do I do? That's literally that was my question. Like, yeah. What am I supposed to expect? Because I'm still like shy, I guess, in a sense. Like, I'm too shy to go introduce myself sometimes. Like, because I don't want to be a bother. I guess that's like, I could not have that mindset. Yeah. But I wouldn't be a bother. Like, if I see them talking to somebody, I don't want to go by like, hey, give me some advice. But I'm trying to pick people's brains sometimes. Like, if they allow me, I guess, if I see the opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of gets me thinking, like, so you're working with AF, I'm not going to say it out loud, but like you're working with the government and the military. What do they know that you're a wrestler?
By now they should. I mean, they know everything about me. I don't go and like say like, hey guys, I'm a wrestler, but they probably know. They just don't say anything.
I mean, I kind of find like it's like, what do you talk around the water cooler? Like, just like, oh man, I had this match and AEW. And
the cool thing is, because of COVID, we my office started working from home, and till this day we're still working from home. So this is where I'm at right now. Is technically my office now.
Okay, cool office. You got a cool telescope. You know, looking cool. We're going to talk about some things that I saw you post on your stories, some fun Marvel and Star Wars related things, because we're going to dive into that in a bit. But Brian is in the chat, and he's looking forward to seeing you.
Hey.
So yay!
I'm looking forward to.
So the Fester B in the chat says Jasmine Allure would be a good fit. So as a tag team partner.
Sure, I'll take it.
Think about that.
I was thinking as an opponent.
Ooh.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
As an opponent for her to
face. If you're going to aim for somebody, you might want to try and take a shot at somebody who's a former champion at the company you want to work with.
That's tough. But yeah, I can handle it. I'm sure I can handle it.
I don't know. She's smart. She's pretty smart. The question is, how smart are you?
Nah, I'm really smart. I'm pretty smart.
I mean, she's programming like things that would literally probably blow my mind. So I can't.
But there's two kinds of intelligence in the world. There's regular intelligence, and then there's ring intelligence.
And I possess pretty much every intelligence you can think of.
Ooh,
I like that. So pretty much I have to be careful so you don't like hack into our broadcast system for the show, because you could like try to cut out your opponent. You could just be like, it's me, and that's it.
What tells you that I haven't done it?
It hasn't happened yet.
I don't know that. Well, for other shows, like it might have happened. I have to research. I got to make sure that you're not gonna do some sabotage work here.
The audio suddenly doesn't work and all that. It's probably
The hacker.
Yeah. So, Sio, Bob Berger wants to know, do you have your eye on any of the gold at MPW? I know we talked about tag teams, so you can think about a tag team partner, but Genocide is our Mission Pro champion, and she has the gold. So
Casey Blackrose has the Mission Pro Cup, so you never know when that's going to be up for grabs.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of competition. There is a lot, but I feel like I got to start low, just try to like touch the waters a little bit, and then we'll see.
Yeah. So Emmy, so speaking of your match, on February 11th, let's I'm gonna show you. I was going to show you your graphic, but you've seen it. You've been sharing it. So let's talk about like Emmy Camacho. She's been at Mission Pro for a little while. She's had a few matches with us, and she's been very aggressive. Like because you mentioned like don't underestimate people, right? So I feel like you can't underestimate her.
Yeah, she looks tiny, but she's kind of mean, you know.
I feel like she has a little mean streak.
Yeah, I don't know.
If you're going to be in wrestling, you really should have a mean streak.
Yeah,
it might be the best idea.
Yeah, no, she seems a little mean, so I don't know. We'll see how it goes with her, but I have my strategy, I think.
Okay.
Do you want to share any of that strategy with us?
Why would I? I will just be giving my whole secrecy away.
You're smart. You're very smart. I like this. This girl's going places.
I told you. I've been places.
I like it. You're being smart about it. You're being strategic. We have a question from the chat. Do you have a dream match? Do you have a dream opponent? I mean, I guess you mentioned Stone Cold, but Arlena. Yeah.
One has to be Lita. I don't care. I will go to hell. Like I will tear the house down with her.
I love it. I love it. So you did get a warning in the chat saying just watch out for JP and the bad ref. So be careful of that.
Me?
Yeah, that was the thing.
As long as she stays out of our way, there won't be any problem.
I thought we were friends. What are you talking about?
Friends, honey. This is pro wrestling. There are no friends in pro wrestling. Just alliances, tenuous alliances.
Oh my goodness. All right. Brian says, bring the telescope to San Antonio. So
yeah, we'll fly the telescope out. Yeah.
Yeah.
It has its own carrying case, so I can probably take it.
You should bring it. You should bring it. So speaking of like all of your fun things that you have, because I saw that you posted the coolest Iron Man helmet, because you're into Marvel movies, right? And you posted really cool Star Wars toys. And I was super jealous because you had so many. And I was like, oh my God. And I think there's some Star Trek fans in the chat, but we'll forgive them. It's okay. Yeah. So what's your favorite Marvel movie? And what's your favorite Star Wars movie?
Favorite Marvel movie? If I go like OG, I guess it will be the original Spider-Man, all the whole trilogy. I love it. I can watch it over and over again. From the newest movies, I think Endgame kind of hit. Like there was something about Endgame that just like hit right in the heart. So I will say that one. And from Star Wars, because you have Star Wars too, The Empire Strikes Back. That has to be the number one.
Yeah.
I think that should be everyone's, I think. So who's your favorite Star Wars character?
Oh, Darth Vader. Always.
Dark side.
Always.
Dark side. Okay.
Now, everyone tells me like Jedis and like lightsabers and all that. No, I don't care. I'm Sith, I'm Empire, I'm everything. First Order, I'm everything.
So if you could have one power of Darth Vader's, what would it be?
Ooh, good one.
The choking.
That is the right answer. Yeah.
There's been so many times that I just look at people and then I wish I was doing just.
Oh my goodness. See, now I'm kind of nervous to meet you because I feel like you might take on Darth Vader's power if you
I wish.
work hard enough.
I'm okay.
Oh, I guess Boss Baines has a cat too.
I have a cat. All the best evil villains have cats.
Yeah, that's true. Got Dr. Evil over there.
Oh.
So how are you feeling in general? So I feel like you need to bring some toys, like Star Wars toys and the telescope and all that, just because Brian will probably want to play with some toys. So
I will bring the Iron Man helmet with me.
See, Brian said, did you see that? Brian said, hell yes, Sio is booked on all future shows now.
I made it. Let me call my mom. I made it.
Yeah, you're like, you made it. So how does it feel just, when the moment happened when you realized you were booked on Mission Pro Wrestling? Because I'm sure you've been watching what's been happening in all of our shows and how we're growing the women's wrestling kind of movement and trying to put women forward. How did that feel to kind of get booked on your Mission Pro show?
It felt amazing, honestly. I was not expecting it. I know I already had talked to you, but I was like, I'm probably not gonna hear back or anything. And the moment I saw it, like, oh yeah, it actually happened. It made me feel really nice. It made me feel like a warmth in my heart.
I love it. So you're gonna keep that feeling until you need to get into game mode and be ready to,
oh yeah,
front Emmy.
Here I'm really like chill and just like like how I'm talking. I talk a lot with my hands, but in the ring I don't. It's just like straight focus mode. It's just like, let's get at it.
So real quick, Tony Justice said, Cap wielding Thor's hammer is better than Boss Lames wielding Simon's shovel. So, yeah.
No.
That's making the comparison there. There's a lot of, Front Row is asking, Captain Marvel or She-Hulk?
I won't, because I've read the comics, not from the comics. I will do movie versus show, I guess. She-Hulk.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you do the She-Hulk filter on Instagram? Did you test it out?
I did. I didn't post it. I just kept it for myself.
You're like, this is so cool. I can't even post it for public consumption.
I have so many videos of me, just of myself recording, like with filters. It's just gonna be insane.
Can you do your promo in the She-Hulk filter, please? Just for me. Just send it to me. Just because I want
to. All right, I'll be in there.
Okay. Or your favorite, like they have tons of different filters. You could do Marvel or Star Wars or something. Yeah, Brian is a huge Godzilla fan, if y'all didn't know. So
yes.
So if you have any Godzilla toys or fun stuff, bring those.
I don't have any Godzilla toys. I'm not big on Godzilla.
There you go. Now you're unbooked from every show.
Just like that. Snap and it's gone.
I had a hype for it when the latest movies came out, but I don't know, something let me down and I just stopped there.
Okay. Well, maybe got to work on that. We gotta, you and Brian will bond over all this stuff. But let's you did mention you were a comic book fan as well.
Yes.
When we were chatting. I know you mentioned Spider-Man. What's your favorite like go-to comic book? Like an oldie but goodie.
I haven't read them in so long, but the only comics I read, and maybe this is me being a hipster or trying to be cool, the only ones I read are from the silver and golden era, which are from the 50s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, up to the 70s, I think, like low 70s. Anything after 1970, I don't read it. But my favorite one, I have a Tales of Suspense. Those were comics where it's just little stories about all the superheroes and they don't necessarily need to make sense. I think my oldest one is like 1962, but I don't even remember what it is. I have them back home, so it's been a while since I've read them. But yeah, I think it was Tales of Suspense. I do not remember what number it is. I think 53 for just throwing a number in. It's the first appearance of Black Widow. I thought it was pretty cool.
Okay, I was going to ask because I'm not completely familiar with all the comic books, but I love how you knew the number, or you were trying to think about the number.
I don't know, because the only reason why I remember is because it took me so long to get it. Because the movie started booming, so the prices went up, and I'm like, I'm not trying to pay like $1,000 for a comic. But yeah, I think it's 53. I might be wrong, honestly. I'm gonna be quoted later, like, oh, she's not 53. How cute it wasn't.
I know. We're gonna have to research after this and make sure that it's accurate. Yeah, Brian's calling you out. Brian said, "Wait, did she say she didn't like Godzilla?" I stepped out of the room. So I'm gonna ask you one more time. I'm gonna say, look, Brian asked the question. He said, "King Kong versus Godzilla."
There, Godzilla. I will say Godzilla on that.
Okay, there you go. See, I'm giving you a way back in.
I mean, it's a monkey against Godzilla.
Brian, we're all good. We smoothed it out. All right. So you're coming to Texas, and are you excited to come to San Antonio?
Yes, San Antonio is actually one of my favorite cities. Honestly, I've only been there once a couple years ago, and I just fell in love with everything. It reminds me a lot of home. That's what it was.
Yeah. What'd you do while you were here?
Oh, I went to all the tourist places. I went to the Alamo, I went to the mall, to the river, everything.
The river walk, yeah.
Everything. It was so much fun. I think I still have it posted on my stories, like on my Instagram, and that's from like 3 or 4 years ago.
I love it. Well, if there's some time, we got to get some really good food and enjoy San Antonio a little bit. Is there like some food that you definitely always have to get when you're in Texas?
Oh, Mexican food. But also barbecue.
Yeah.
Barbecue sandwich when I went. Ugh. I still dream about it.
Oh my god! Yeah, front row is mentioning that Sio almost got a Thanos snap there. So you did almost kind of disappear there.
You're fine. You survived.
You're fine. Brian says you're good now. She's got the Darth Vader down.
Even though my watch is it's Jedi. I don't know if you guys can see.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. All right, can you show everyone the Iron Man helmet real quick?
I have it.
This is super cool.
If I can turn it on, it looks like this.
Look at that. I think you should bring that to Texas. I think we should have some fun.
Oh, there you go.
Oh god.
There you go. It opens up. That's it.
That is so cool.
But I really can't see anything with it.
I know. Still cool.
So you can't wrestle in that. So this is a fun question that we were talking about like near Halloween. But I'm gonna kind of revamp it because I know you're a Marvel and Star Wars fan. So if you could have a tag team partner from the Marvel universe or the Star Wars universe, who would it be?
For Marvel or Star Wars, still Darth Vader. I will have to.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do all the work. I'll just be on the side, just smiling.
Can you imagine the gear? The gear would look so cool.
I know. It would be pretty cool. All black.
The only thing is, Vader's not fast. If you get somebody fast enough, I think they can outmaneuver Vader.
Yeah, I am fast.
But she's fast, so she can counteract
everything
going on.
Balance.
I told you, I used to run a lot. I used to do 5Ks a lot. More of it. Just don't ask me how my knee is. After all.
And so what about in the Marvel universe?
Marvel. If it's Thanos, it will be Thanos, but he has to have the gauntlet. Without the gauntlets, it is really nothing.
Well, he's strong.
Well, wait a minute. He can't have the thing. That's impossible.
All right, then no gauntlet. Then it will be Thor. But if it's the Chris Hemsworth Thor, because I just want to see Chris Hemsworth.
You just want Chris Hemsworth.
You just want Chris Hemsworth, exactly. I see your strategy here. Well, that would be interesting. I feel like we need to do a Mission Pro Halloween show where we just have everyone like have tag team partners that are like Marvel and Star Wars and other characters in the different universes we love.
Count me in. I have a lot of toys. Count me in.
Yes, bring them all.
I know my moment has come.
Yeah, Tony's saying that Darth Vader could do the Force choke slam as a finishing move.
Ooh, that'll be cool.
That would be pretty good.
That's pretty cool.
I've seen somebody do that, actually. I've seen a couple of people do that.
I think I've seen it too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, someone said Wolverine. Man, can you imagine? Those things would hurt. I feel like
out of metal. I mean, come on.
I feel like Alejandro Lyon and Wolverine will be good tag team partners.
Yes. Yeah.
I think that would be great. I think I'm just a genius right now. And then someone also said Thor. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I want everyone in the chat. I want you to let us know what you think, because this is fun.
Yeah, I'm a nerd at heart. I am a nerd.
No, we love it. We're all little nerds. It's okay.
All nerds do something.
That's why we're all in this business, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So anything else you want to tell Emmy Camacho before your match on February 11th?
Just to watch out. Don't think because I'm so new to Mission Pro that I'm just gonna go easy. Just be careful, I guess.
All right. Well, Emmy Camacho, watch out. Boss Baines, do you have any other questions for Sio?
Well, I mean, you've obviously worked with a lot of very talented people in a lot of different companies. I want to know what the best piece of advice you've been given so far is.
That's a tough one. To not overthink so much, because I feel like that's something we all have. You overthink everything, but just if you know you're good and if you know you got it, then just go for it. Like, stop doubting yourself, because this is a reason why I feel like it took me so long to break out of my own shell and start wrestling, because I just kept thinking of the what if. And like, what if this happens? What if I break my leg? What if I I don't know, I get injured, or if I injure somebody else? It's like, you know what? Like, go with the flow, trust yourself, trust your knowledge, trust the other person as well, and just keep going.
It's good.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, it's good to remember that in life too. Can't overthink things. Good reminder. One more kind of question I wanted to talk to you about is what's your, like, getting into the mental state of heading out into the ring? Do you have like your music playset? Do you have your song that you're like, I always listen to this and it gets me ready to go?
And not really. I need like silence. I need to be with myself and like take it in. This is what's gonna happen. Just go for it. And as soon as I walk out of that curtain, everything, I don't know how to explain it, but everything just goes blank. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just like I'm a completely different person. I don't know if Boss Baines feels it too, but it's just like you're in the moment and like forget about everything else. You're right here.
Yeah, no, you're right. I agree with that. For me, it's silence. I need silence, because then you can really start to tune into the noise that happens during the match. I don't train with headphones or anything like that, because I think you have to be aware of all the noise that's around you. And a lot of top level athletes, they agree with that. You just need actually silence so that you can get in tune with what's happening around you. That's smart.
Yeah, I think it's intriguing, because a lot of people listen to meditation music. A lot of people like silence. I think that's the first time I've heard someone say complete silence. So that's interesting. Yeah, I think I'm so excited. I'm so sorry. My cat was making.
Do you have any pets?
You have pets, because pets are, they cause trouble here.
This one won't leave me alone.
Not in Florida. I still have my dog at home with my parents.
She always wants to be involved.
Yeah, she loves being the center of attention.
I love it.
I understand the feeling.
I wonder where she gets it from.
I wonder.
Well, Sio, this was I love chatting with you. I know everyone in the chat loved meeting you and getting to know you. We're so excited to see you at Mission Pro in a month or so. A little less than tomorrow will be a month. So that's exciting.
Coming up pretty soon. So
yeah. Where are you gonna bring merchandise? Do you have merchandise to bring on February 11th?
I don't actually. The biggest merch you can buy from me is if you follow me on Instagram, I guess.
All right. Well, where can
follow her on Instagram? Buy some merch.
Where can people follow you?
So I am on Instagram at Sio Nieves, and then I am on Twitter with the same handle, Sio Nieves. Do not add me on Facebook. I have people add me on Facebook, and that's all my legal stuff. No, I am not public.
Don't. Just Instagram, just Twitter. Just follow her, get some merchandise. Yeah, maybe you can try to get merchandise before February 11th because there's like Merch Mania at Mission Pro, and during intermission and during at the end of the show, people buy like all the time.
So,
yeah, we'll see.
Okay. All right. I like it. She's so like coy about it. I love it. Well, Sio, thank you so much for joining us on a Mission. It was so great to chat with you, and we can't wait to see you in a month.
I can't wait. Thank you both very much.
Yeah. Take care. Good night. Oh my gosh. Boss Baines and Mission Pro family. That is our On a Mission episode for this week. We are heading in to the last few weeks before Kickstart My Heart on February 11th. You can get tickets at missionprowrestling.com or eventbrite.com. You can watch it on Title Match Network. And remember, we have sponsorships still open, and you can sponsor a match, sponsor a wrestler, sponsor that guy right there if you want. And we're so excited to see you in a few weeks. And then we also have we have some other content that premiered today at 7 p.m. It's an interview with Genocide. We also have another exciting show premiering soon, so we'll be posting about that. And so follow, like, subscribe on all social platforms, on YouTube to Mission Pro Wrestling. Hit that notification button because you want to make sure that you remember and see when we go live. Boss Baines, where can people follow you?
You can follow me on all social media at Baines Destroy. That is BAINES Destroy, because that's what I do best.
All right. Well, thank you, Boss Baines. Thank you, Sio. Thank you to the whole Mission Pro family for joining us for On a Mission. We can't wait to chat with you next week for another special guest. Stay tuned. Good night, everyone.